cold. So here's a quick video on how I took this thing apart, but this to give you a basic idea. It's not very difficult, it's just time consuming, and just be careful, take your time. So the first thing I would do if your dryer stops spinning is I would try a hard reset. And one way to do that is to unplug it and let it sit for an hour or two and plug it back up. That may solve the problem. What you can also do is open and close the lid 6 times in 12 seconds. So try those two things first if your dryer stops spinning. You can do what I did because I like to tinker with things, so I just took it all apart. I took the drum out, I took everything out and put it back together, and it worked just fine. But I figure at some point, you're gonna have to replace some of the parts. So what you're gonna need here to take this apart is a number 2 screwdriver. You need a 5/16 nut wrench. I have one, but I can't find it right now. For this, I'm going to pull this out. And then take these 2 screws out right here. Take our putty knife and just pop this up. That's one on both sides. Now this pops up. A little pump. And this goes all the way back. Now before I do anything here, I want to unplug it. So once I unplug that, I'm going to turn the gas off. When it goes this way, it means it's flowing. This is off. So now I'm going to cue the gas to this. If I look over here, I'm going to have a screw, one right there, and one on the other side. Right there. And that's going to allow me to pop this front panel off. So let me get those screws off, and I'll be back with you. And these are those screws, and there's 2. The other one's over there. But there's little brackets here. I'm going to show you these. These pop out. Slide these out and they look like that. And once those slide out, this front panel just pops off. So now I'm going to remove the front panel. And all I'm going to do is just lift it up and pop it out. It looks like that. If you have any money, it's going to be down there. And basically there's your drum. But I wanted to do this because when I looked up the parts on Amazon, I realized that I'm going to have to either replace the belt, the idler pulley, or the drum rollers. When I looked online, I see way too many videos of those things having to be replaced. Here's your belt. And it should be nice and firm. If it's loose, this thing is not going to spin right. If I want to take this drum out, all I have to do is pull back on the idler pulley, move it to loosen that up. I can pull this back and then take the belt off, and now I can pretty much grab the belt right here and lift the whole drum out. That's pretty easy to do. This is a part that's replaceable. It's in the kit to replace this whole thing. As you can see, this rolls just fine on the idler pulley. So if I want to replace the drum roller right here, all I do is take this little plastic washer off, pop it off with a screwdriver, then this whole drum roller slides right off. Then I'll take the new drum roller, put it back in, and put this little plastic washer back on. And that's a 5-minute fix. So don't call a technician for that. If you have to replace the belt, it comes with the kit for 17 bucks. Just take a picture of how it wraps around. And if I just pull this back a little bit, give it some slack, I can take this belt off. Then if I go over here, and there's nothing else, take these screws off right here if you want to get to the other drum roller on the left side of the drum. For example, if this starts going bad or it doesn't turn, then you can replace this entire piece, and it comes with the kit. And that's it. So you have this piece right here, the idler pulley, drum rollers, and the belt. Those are the 3 things you may have to replace if the dryer stops spinning. You have motor stuff on this side that you can replace as well, but you can't see the other drum roller until you take that metal piece off. Put this back. First, I'm going to take my front panel like this. And then do a little waggle here. like that. Then what we have to do, we have these two little things for our screws, and they slide in on the side. So those slide in like that, where the screw goes on both sides like that. So once you loosen that idler pulley, what happens is the belt can just slide off, or you can just take this whole drum, grab it by the belt, and lift the whole drum out. So there's one screw back in. And again, once you get that done, now I just take the lid and just pop it back on. Both sides. That's done. Then I'll take my two screws and put those back in. So our two screws are back in now. Then we take our lint filter, pop it back in. We're good to go. We can turn the gas back on, hit the gas again, plug the dryer back up, and now we're good to go. But at some point, as I did more research, I see a lot of techs out and they're replacing the drum rollers, the idler pulley, and they're replacing the motor belt. So I just showed you how to do all that, but that's gonna happen. So if you can get the kit now, it's only 17 bucks, I would go buy it. But now it's gonna work. And it was just annoying to see that it didn't work. And when you have to replace these parts, whether you have a Whirlpool or Amana or a Maytag, now you know how to do it. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, please subscribe, and please put any comments you have below. I know some people are having heating problems with their dryer and things like that. And at this point, because I own these products and I'm gonna have to fix them myself, even if I haven't had that problem, I would do some research for you. I have no problem doing that. And I have people who do this in the industry who can help me out too. So thanks again for watching. Have a great day.